I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Well, here we are, man. Back with everyone live. Monday night. AI versus 8 Ball. Love this show. What you doing there, Mr. Shane?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I was jamming out. We got some folks in the chat already, and I'm ready to. We've been doing this brother teams, and tonight, Joey, we're going to be doing the Mountaineers, right?
That's right. Mountaineers all the way. The whole show is nothing but about West Virginia. If you're not a West Virginia fan, stick around and listen. if you are a West Virginia fan, you don't want to leave because we're going to find out if what AI has West Virginia going this year. So I've got a video being created right now. Matter of fact, I've already put it in, and it is. Let me look and see. It is at about 24% done. So it'll be done here in probably about 15 minutes. And you got the 8 ball ready to go. And guess what else I've got? I have. Let me find it here. I got to find it. There we go. I've got that, which is the schedule.
Good.
Right. So we've got the schedule up there, and I can just sit there and put it up and down. What do we need to do? But yeah, let's talk for a little bit. So I watched the video today, and I sent it to you.
I watched it.
And I'm looking forward. I'm hoping this guy will come on the show. I really want to debate him about this because
I think it's
I'm not
controversial.
saying West Virginia's number 1 or 2 or 3 in the Big 12, but you know what? We're a hell of a lot better than 9th or 10th in the Big 12 for the next 5 years. And that's what he said. It was the next he did it based on the next 5 years. He said which programs are going to be good over the next 5 years. He put West Virginia as 9th. I just do not see that.
Didn't he have Texas Tech in like the bottom 2? I mean,
yeah, and well, that's just it. He had a lot of the I rated 8th in the bottom. He had a lot of teams ahead of West Virginia that teams that do not have any kind of history whatsoever with having a good program. Iowa State,
8
Kansas.
was up there. Arizona State. I mean, that pick there has made me think that the guy was losing his marbles.
Yeah,
and I like
lost.
I mean, he usually has good stuff.
Well, I the first time I ever watched him, and when I seen that, I went and watched a few other of his videos. And you're right, he's got some good videos on there.
He's
but
good.
This video here, he was just I don't know what he was smoking something that wasn't right. When you put UCF ahead of West Virginia, and I just can't figure that out. What are you talking about? Look, UCF's going to be a great program, but they're just now coming into Power 5. They haven't built their program yet. They haven't even built their facilities and stadium and stuff good enough yet to really start getting big recruits and compete on a big level.
And when teams come on, Joey, let's think about the Mountaineers. We had no idea in 2005 that corner would be turned. I mean, in 2005, they had Ben Ardick, I think, was the quarterback that got hurt. They put Pat White in, and they were down against Louisville. All of a sudden, he made it a ball game, and he got hot. And Rodriguez kept him in there. And in '93, we didn't realize that the Mountaineers were that good until they had 6 wins. And then everybody, at ESPN start talking about, oh my gosh, this team's legit. So it's the same type of thing. I think West Virginia has to get hot, and beating Penn State would be that big splash win that would get everybody talking.
Yeah, I go back to like 1986, 87, 88, 89, 90. West Virginia was always in the headlines, right? They were always talked about being a good program. All the way in '93, though, they kind of slept on us. They slept on us in '93. They did have us in the top 25, but they had us very low in the top 25. And we came out and went undefeated. So I can understand that. I mean, they surprised me too. Jake Kastner and Darius Dustil, I knew were great quarterbacks, but at the same time, it didn't seem like there was enough pieces around them, to be a legitimate top 10 program. And there we were. So I just feel like that team there in '93, this team that we got this year is better than that '93 team. I'm sorry, it is. This team we've got this year coming in is better than that '93 team. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go undefeated because that '93 team had a lot going for it, right? There were some teams that were down, not all of it, but you look great wins too. We beat Miami, who was number 4 in the country at the time. We beat Boston College, who was number 5 in the country at the time, who had just beat the one team of Notre Dame. So I think that helped us a lot in beating Boston College. Boston College had just come off a very tough win against Notre Dame on the road at Notre Dame. in South Bend, then had to play West Virginia the next week at home. They got them at home. So West Virginia, you know, beat Boston College. It was a really rough game. Everybody remembers that. Jake Stelzner got hurt, stumbled in the end zone. You know, he's limping, everything else. Hey, it was a great team. I was really proud of the team, but something tells me this team right here is better. Now, this team's not better than 2005, 6, and 7, and this team's not better than 2018. This team's not better than 1988, but I think they're better than that 93 team. Now, I know that 93 team was very good. I don't want anybody to I'm just saying that I'm hoping, I believe that this team is going to prove how good they are. I think they're going to have a 10 or 11 win season. I don't know that, I'm not sure that we can beat Penn State. I'm not. But if we lose to Penn State, I can only see us maybe losing one other. We got a tough schedule though. It's a real schedule. So I'm really looking forward to this year. And I think what's going to hold us back from being a very, very elite team is that schedule. You know, that it's just
Yeah, it's a hard schedule, but I think it's manageable. And let me pull up the schedule real quick, Joey. I want to go over a couple of things.
right, we can do
You know,
that.
when I was thinking about it, I'm like, boy, West Virginia has a tough schedule, and they had an easy schedule last year. But guys, they get UCF at home. That's big. Okay, in November too. So if UCF is hot, you know, that's a fantastic time to have them. Arizona and Cincinnati, you know, Baylor at home is good. You know, Baylor's always one of those teams that West Virginia struggles with. So having them at home makes me feel a lot better about life. Kansas State at home, absolutely 100% gives me the happy vibes. Same with Iowa State and Kansas. Now, we have Oklahoma State, you know, out there. Man, that's going to be circle it. Man, that's going to be a tough one. And then Arizona, traveling to Arizona. So those are two bad road games. Pitt, and I think West Virginia can go up to Acrisure and take care of business. But, you know, Texas Tech, Arizona, Oklahoma State. Those are some tough road games, but they do have Kansas, Iowa State, and Kansas State. And I would have to say, with Kansas, the way they're playing, oh, man, I would rather have Kansas at home with this schedule. Joey, what do you think? I think this is manageable.
It's manageable because we've got Kansas and Iowa State and Kansas State. I mean, at home. That's what makes it manageable. What the problem is, though, if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. 7 of our first 8 games are against the best teams in the conference, not only in the Big Ten, but the ACC and the Big 12. So we got to play probably the team that's probably going to finish second or third in the Big Ten this year. Penn State, we're going to play them. Pittsburgh's going to have a pretty good team in the ACC this year. I can see them finishing in the top 5 of the ACC.
Yep.
Then we got Kansas, who's going to be in the top 5 of the Big 12. Oklahoma State, top 5 Big 12. Iowa State, most likely top 7 of the Big 12. Kansas State, top 5 of the Big 12. Arizona, most likely top 6 in the Big 12. Think about this, guys. This is a tough schedule.
It is.
And now the backside gets better. Cincinnati, Baylor, UCF, Texas Tech. But that Texas Tech is always a tough thing. We have a tough time with Texas Tech. We all know this. Neil Brown has a lot of trouble with Texas Tech. So
there's some time between some of these games. Like you have Kansas, and then you have almost 2 weeks until they play Oklahoma State. Okay. You have the October 26th. They travel to Arizona. Okay. They're going to be tired from that, but they get, a little bit of a break, and then they travel to Cincinnati, which is, a few hours away, not a big deal. Then they have Baylor and UCF at home, and then they got to travel that last game. So as far as the travel looks, it's spaced with the dates really, you don't have back-to-back games traveling out to like Iowa State and Oklahoma State. I mean, you really can. It sucks about as bad as it should, but it's not any worse than it should be. If that makes any god darn sense. But I really look at it.
You're right. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse and stuff. So, I mean, I love the fact. So, if we look at this real quick, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 road games. One of the better in the conference because about everybody in the conference is playing 6 road games.
Yeah,
I think there's only 2 teams playing 5. No, I don't remember who the other one is, but West Virginia's one. So only 5 road games for West Virginia this year. And that's really a great thing since the schedule is so daggone tough. It's top heavy. It's top and middle heavy and light at the end. But man, I tell you what, it's going to be such a brutal schedule to get through. And you know what? If West Virginia could beat Penn State, and then of course they'll beat Albany, and then can beat Pittsburgh, if we can come back home and take Kansas, we're looking really good. We're looking really good. You know, so I just feel like this is going to be a good team. And you know what? I may have spoke a little early when I said it better than 93, but at the same time, I don't see it. I don't see much of a slack off.
No,
We got 2 quarterbacks. We got 2 really good quarterbacks, just like we did in 93. Yep, we got 2 good running backs. We've got a lot of unknown wide receivers, just like we did in 93, that have talent and probably will come on. So I think that this team can accomplish what the 93 team did accomplish on a lesser scale. I don't mean they're going to go undefeated. I just mean, you know, win 10, maybe even 11 games. I can see 10 games pretty easy here. Not easy, but I can see 10 games, you know, winning them. So, but, hey, my AI video finished. Which one you want to do first? 8-ball or AI?
let's do AI.
Let's do AI. Okay. You'll have, let me see if I can share a screen same time as you. I don't know if we can or not. Oh, I can. How about that? Well, let's go ahead and make that full screen. And I will go ahead and make this full screen. And guys, here's the AI video. It's finally finished. It's saying it's 6 minutes long. And I don't even know if it's going to be right. You know, we've not listened to it. We've not watched. Let's just see what it says about the West Virginia Mountaineers. Find out what it thinks.
The West Virginia Mountaineers are coming off a 2023 season that saw them exceed expectations. They're hungry for more in 2024. The roster is loaded with talent and experience, with many key players returning. The offensive firepower is undeniable. Quarterback Nico Marchiol is back to lead the charge. He's got a strong arm and a knack for making plays. The offensive line is a veteran unit that will pave the way for a potent rushing attack. Defensively, the Mountaineers are equally formidable. Their defensive line is anchored by some real game changers. They'll be wreaking havoc in opposing backfields all season long. The linebacker core is fast and physical, ready to make plays all over the field. The secondary is a mix of experience and young talent, eager to make their mark. With this kind of talent and depth, the Mountaineers are poised for a special season. Head coach Neil Brown has this team believing they can compete with anyone. The Big 12 is a tough conference, but the Mountaineers are up for the challenge. Their non-conference schedule is no cakewalk either. They'll face some tough opponents early on, but this team has the talent and the experience to navigate the early challenges. The Mountaineers are set to explode onto the scene in 2024. They've got the talent, the experience, and the coaching to make a real run at the Big 12 title. Expect big things from this West Virginia team. They're ready to take on all comers and make a statement. The Mountaineers are a team to watch, and they're coming to play. The Mountaineers' 2024 schedule is a gauntlet of tough opponents. It all starts with a home opener against the Penn State Nittany Lions. This is a huge game for the Mountaineers. A win here would set the tone for the season. Penn State is always a tough out, but the Mountaineers have the talent to pull off the upset. Next up is a trip to face the Maryland Terrapins. This is another challenging game on the road. Maryland is a program on the rise, and they'll be looking to make a statement.
Maryland.
The Mountaineers will need to be at their best to come away with wins. Then comes a home game against the Duquesne Dukes. This should be a more manageable game for the Mountaineers, but they can't afford to overlook any opponent.
Okay, so it is really screwed up. Let me do this. I will go and make sure that it's got the right schedule. I don't know why it done that. Let's see what it's got for schedule. Let's go to. I've got to wait for it to finish. Let's just do it.
Let's do
Let's
Magic
bring
Eight
your 8 ball. Yeah, and I'll let that. I'm gonna put the because I counted on AI to pull the correct schedule down instead of telling it the schedule.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna have to go in there and tell it our schedule
Yeah.
because it has us playing two.
But luckily, we have an hour for this, and we're not doing two teams. So I'm going to ask the Magic 8 Ball, ladies and gentlemen, if West Virginia will beat Penn State. And I'm pretty nervous about this. What Magic 8 Ball? Will the Mountaineers beat Penn State? Better not tell me now.
Oh. We got it.
Magic 8 Ball, please tell me. Will the Mountaineers beat Penn State? Here it comes. What's it say?
I don't know. I'm moving to an AI.
Oh, so they're
What is
beating. Thank you, Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball. Will they beat Albany?
So it said yes on Penn State.
It did. It said outlook
Good
good.
deal.
Signs point to yes. So first two games are a win. Magic 8 Ball. Will the Mountaineers beat Pitt? It's decidedly so.
All right. I take that.
Magic 8 Ball. Will they beat the Kansas Jayhawks? My reply is no. They're going to lose to Kansas, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
Oh, Magic 8 Ball. I'll take that. I'll take a win over Pitt and Penn State and a loss to Kansas. Magic 8 Ball. Will they beat Oklahoma State? Cannot predict now. Magic 8 Ball. Please predict now. Will the West Virginia Mountaineers beat K-State or Oklahoma State? Oklahoma State, Magic 8 Ball. Yes, they'll beat Oklahoma State.
Well, so we're gonna lose to Kansas to beat Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
But now let me ask you a question. Would you take that trade-off?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I
8
thought.
days of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Would you, Joey?
Oh yeah, I take that trade-off because I mean, everybody looks at Oklahoma State as the premier team in the league right now, right?
Yeah.
As Oklahoma State's going to be the team to beat, the Premier League is going to be the team that's going to be consistent, and I don't blame them. I mean, they've been consistent under Mike Gundy for 20 years.
I mean,
So
you go Iowa State top 25. If you have one loss to Kansas, you beat Pitt, you beat Penn State, you beat Oklahoma State, you're going to be sitting at 20.
Yeah, you're sitting really pretty. So I'll take that.
Yeah. Now, it hurts that it's a home loss, but you know what? I'll take that. So, Magic 8 Ball. We're on to Iowa State. Will the Mountaineers beat Iowa State at home? What's it going to say? Yes, they're going to beat Iowa State.
All right.
That's good. So the Mountaineers are in probably 12, 15, 17, top that ranking area, I would say. And they have Kansas State coming home. Will Magic 8 Ball, will the Mountaineers beat Kansas State at home? Concentrate and ask again later. Okay, I'm going to concentrate.
Concentrate real hard.
I'm going to concentrate real hard. Here we go.
Think of a WVU victory, too.
Magic 8 Ball, will they beat Kansas State? Will they beat Kansas State? I think I stopped concentrating too early. Outlook good. So they've lost to Kansas, but they beat Kansas State, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. Ladies and gentlemen, that they're going into Halloween weekend, going to Tucson, Arizona to play Arizona, and the only loss they have is to Kansas. That would be wonderful. Joey, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Point, they're in contention to be playing for unless they totally just crap the bed, they're in contention to play for a playoff game.
But the thing about it is, in the Big 12, it wouldn't matter if we all beat up on each other, like we kind of think is going to happen this year, right? We really think everybody's going to be beating up on each other because, look, there's about 7 teams that are so equal in this league right now that, they could each beat each other. If that happens, and let's say a team that wins the conference has 3 losses, it doesn't matter. They make the playoffs anyway. So
absolutely. And then the other thing, isn't there an at-large bid? Like if you don't make the playoffs and you beat Penn State and have 2 losses, but just didn't get in.
Yeah, I don't know. Penn State, let's say you beat Penn State and Oklahoma State and Pitt, and and you've got a pretty good team, and you've lost maybe 2 games. Yeah, there's a good chance that you could get into playoffs. I think.
Yeah. Okay, Magic 8 Ball. We're down to Tucson, Arizona, where Arizona's going to play the Mountaineers, and I want to ask you, will the Mountaineers win? It's once again hazy. Let's try it again. Magic 8 Ball. Will the Mountaineers beat Arizona?
Mm-hmm. Come on, 8 Ball. We got to win this game. Wow. Going to be a good game. Must be going. It's double overtime so far. It's double overtime.
It's still undecided. The fate doesn't have it's still undecided in the universe, guys. So we got to try it one more time.
Well, we're in double overtime, right? We're in double overtime right now in the game. That's what it is.
It's an overtime game in Arizona. Will the Mountaineers pull it off? Oh, it really does not want it. Guys, circle this game. This is going to be a tough one. Magic 8 Ball, you got to give us a reading. Will Arizona beat West Virginia? Or will the Mountaineers pull it off and win in Arizona?
Yeah, will West Virginia win?
Will West Virginia win, Magic 8 Ball? Nope, they're going to lose.
After triple overtime, we lose. Okay.
We got 4 games left in the season, so they're sitting at 2 losses. They're probably at like 22 in the polls. I still would be very happy with that. I know that's terrible, but the fact that you beat a Big Ten team first game of the season that's ranked really puts you on the map and makes the conference look more credible as far as I'm concerned.
It seems to be the only thing that every podcaster for the Big 12 thinks is that West Virginia has the toughest out-of-conference schedule, and number 2 is the only team that can make the Big 12 look good by beating Penn State.
So Magic 8 Ball.
Otherwise, they're just playing the other teams in the Big 12. They're just playing like teams like SMU. Now, SMU is going to a Power 5 this year, but their first year in the Power 5. I think there's one game that's an out of conference game against Utah, but Utah's actually in the Big 12. But there's an out of conference game against Utah, right? Arizona, I think.
Yeah, there's a team that plays Nebraska. I think I'm trying to think who plays Nebraska. That's not an easy one.
Yeah, but that's not an easy one, but still, it's Nebraska.
It's Penn State.
Yeah, I think it's Baylor that plays Nebraska, isn't it?
That's right.
I'd have to think.
All right, we're limping back east to Cincinnati, and on November 9th, we're going to be playing the Bearcats. Will the Mountaineers beat the Bearcats?
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
It is certain they're going to beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's an easy one for the 8 Ball there.
West Virginia will be going home and playing Baylor. Magic 8 Ball. Will the Mountaineers beat Baylor in Morgantown?
Dum, dum, dum.
Signs point to yes.
All right. I'll take it.
Magic 8 Ball and all of your wisdom. They stay. The Mountaineers stay another week at home, and they play UCF. Will the Mountaineers beat UCF? Yes.
All right. And now the final game, and it's a tough one.
Texas Tech. So Magic 8 Ball, last game of the season. Mountaineers travel to Lubbock. Will they be able to beat Texas Tech, Magic 8 Ball? Will the Mountaineers pull it off?
Come on, we don't want no Lubbock wind.
Yes.
All right. No Lubbock
Oh
wind.
my gosh. I'll tell you what, Joey, this Magic 8 Ball, whew, it makes my heart skip a beat.
Yeah.
So let's rehash what the Magic 8 Ball said. It had us going into Arizona in like triple overtime and losing. They beat Penn State and Pitt, but they lost to Kansas and they lost to Arizona. So that is a solid, like, I would say 18 in the polls. And they'd probably play Utah. And even if you lost to Utah and you have those, that pedigree, I see them maybe getting in.
There's a possibility. There is a possibility. I mean, I guess it's going to be according to how good other teams are in other conferences, right? But if West Virginia beats Penn State, and let's say Penn State finishes second in the Big Ten, and West Virginia finishes second in the Big 12, how could you put Penn State in ahead of West Virginia? But they would probably do it. But how could you do it? You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that would bother me. Let's see how AI is doing over here.
Kelly McCourt said wrong when we were picking. I think it was the when they lost to Kansas. So
Kelly said what?
And Traveling Fool says rig. So Kelly McCourt 7-2. Yeah, guys, 7-2. So
all right. Well, so I've got an AI ready again. Let's see if hopefully it's done better this time. All right, let's find out what AI says.
How are you doing, Mountaineer Nation? Your boy Joey Foster is back and fired up for some college football. We're coming off a hell of a 9-4 season last year.
All right. Now AI just scared me. How the hell did it know me?
Yeah.
I guess maybe my account. This is my account on AI. They just went by my name on my the account, I guess. Wow. That's kind of scary. Okay, here we go.
Year. And let me tell you, the energy in Morgantown is electric. This year, the Big White Team is ours for the taking. I'm talking big plays, big wins, and even a trip to the biggest game of them all. We've got a schedule packed with rivalries, tough road games, and some absolute banger matchups that'll have you on the edge of your seat. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive headfirst into each game, breaking down the opponents and predicting how the Mountaineers are going to dominate. Get your couches ready, stock up on snacks, and clear your schedules, because this is going to be one wild ride. Are you ready to climb that mountain to the top, Mountaineer Nation? Let's go.
Here we go.
All right, Mountaineer faithful. We kick things off with a bang as the Nittany Lions come to Morgantown. This one's going to be a dogfight from the opening snap. All right, we're back home for week 2, and let's just say this one should be a little less stressful. Time for the Mountaineers to put on a show and rack up some points.
Did they win?
Well, that's what I got to know. And see, I'm gonna stop that again because for some reason this thing is just not. So if I go to edit and go to edit script, now I want it to. Well, there's no way for me to do it now. I mean, I put in that I wanted it to preview and predict each game, but it's just
How about we just have it straight up predict the games without.
That's what I asked it to do.
No.
Let's just see if maybe it does it at the end. Let's just see if maybe it gives us a grand total at the end. Because it's pretty short.
It's time for the backyard brawl, baby. This rivalry is as heated as it gets, and we're heading into enemy territory. Let's bring home that trophy. Kansas is coming to Morgantown, and we got to keep that momentum rolling. This is a chance to show the Big 12 what we're made of. Oklahoma State is always a tough place to play, but we're coming in with guns blazing. This is a statement game for the Mountaineers.
No, it doesn't give any scores.
Iowa State's coming to town, and we're ready to feast. This is a chance for the Mountaineers to showcase their skills and dominate at home. Kansas State is a tough opponent, but we're holding down the fort in Morgantown. This is a crucial game for our Big 12 title aspirations.
Okay.
We're heading out to the desert for a showdown with Arizona. This one's all about adjusting to the heat and bringing that Mountaineer energy to a whole new time zone.
That looks like Nippert Stadium.
We're hitting the road again to take on Cincinnati. This is a chance to prove our dominance and show that we're a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly.
It feels like Nippert.
Baylor's coming to Morgantown, and this is where we make our stand. This game could make or break our season, folks. It's time to show Baylor what Mountaineer football is all about.
Thanks, buffering. Until you export it, man, you just don't get anything.
UCF is known for their high-powered offense, but we're ready.
Says it's lighting up the scoreboard,
Ready to
right?
light up the scoreboard ourselves. This one's going to be
Come on, baby. Let's go.
a shootout for the ages.
All right, last game, and then maybe it'll give us a prediction.
We're ending the season on the road against Texas Tech. This is our last chance to make a statement and secure our spot in a bowl game. There you have it, Mountaineer Nation. We've broken down every game, predicted the outcomes, and I gotta tell you, I'm feeling good about this season. This team is hungry, talented, and ready to make some noise in the Big 12. We're talking potential championships, folks. Now it's your turn to bring the energy. Follow every game, wear your blue and gold with pride, and let those Mountaineers hear you roaring from the stands.
Now, what the hell?
No,
All right,
uh,
I'll tell you what, let's do. All right, Shane, I want you to go over every game in our schedule, one by one.
Yeah.
Give us your prediction. And I'm going to work on AI once again. And we'll
I'll
get
tell
this
you what,
thing.
one more time. We'll try one more time. But guys, I'm on the fence with Penn State. I think they're going to win. I think the Mountaineers are going to pull it out off. I really do. I think if they win that game, they're going to lose a game we don't expect. But I will take that. Like I said, 8 days a week and twice on Sunday. Albany, that's W for the Mountaineers. Pitt, I think they'll beat Pitt. Now Kansas, I think what's going to happen is I have to roll with the Magic 8 Ball, but I think they'll beat Kansas, but I think they're going to lose to Oklahoma State in Stillwater. And I think they're going to beat Iowa State. I think they're going to beat Kansas State. I think they're going to beat Arizona. I think they're going to beat Cincinnati, Baylor. But I think they're going to lose one of the two last games. Hear me out. They're either if they lose to UCF, they'll come back and beat Texas Tech. If they beat UCF, they're going to go choke in Texas Tech. So I pick them for two losses, maybe 3. So, that's not a bad record. I mean, I would take 6 losses if they beat Pitt and Penn State. I know that's terrible, but man, that would just be something if that first game they pull it off. But I haven't got my son's football schedule. He's going to be in 10th grade, so he'll play varsity and JV. JV games on Saturday. So with that noon kickoff off, it kind of puts me into a pickle because, their game's usually like 11 in the morning, 10 in the morning. So I probably won't be able to go to that one if he's playing. But, I'm very excited to see. It all comes down to August 31st, which, guys, it's the 20th of May already. So we're literally just a few months away from that. Guys, 3 months. 3 months and 10 days. That's 130 days until the Mountaineers wear their black unis, and
Oh man. Now I'm looking forward to that. I have to be with our old buddy, that Brian Josiak, the like it black. I kind of have to agree with him. I think the black uniform though, and for Penn State, because last year they just kind of like did their little white out against us. We got to do something different. Opposite of white is black. I'm all for this black uniform. I'm all for a blackout in Morgantown. Hell, I'm all for first play of the game. We hand the ball to C.J. Donaldson and turn the lights off.
Johnny Cash,
Yeah.
just say. Of course, I didn't spell it right.
Yeah. That's what I want. That's what I want. So, all right, let's go. I'm gonna get the. So let's get this. All right, I've got it going again. It's working its magic. AI's working its magic. I've got the schedule put in. I told it to give us a preview and prediction of every single game for West Virginia University this year using the following schedule, and I put the schedule in. If I don't get it right this time, I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you this. We have already done preview and predictions for a lot of other teams, and West Virginia West Virginia's beaten every one of them according to AI. Right? There's been no loss for West Virginia yet.
No, we've done.
So we do have that to look forward to. We can always go back and say, hey, all these predicted right. So now we're going to find out if what it predicts this time. Hopefully, this is going to work this time and stuff. But it's going to be a little bit. It's about 17% done. So, all right. So now you gave your prediction, right?
Yeah, I gave my prediction. I had them losing. I have them losing 2 or 3 games. But here's the thing, Joey. That Magic 8 Ball, it hit it out of the park as far as you can believe that could happen, right?
It's actually been really spot on with a lot of these teams as to what the professionals are picking. Even it's been amazing. We've done West Virginia is like our 10th or 11th team already,
and they like pick some teams. You're like, okay, that could happen. They could lose. Yeah. There's only maybe one we're like, but I think about like 95% of these picks that the 8 Ball does has been pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm like Traveling Pools now. Traveling Pools will tell you that Miami football, Miami is going to go 172-0. He said. So I'm going to tell you right now, West Virginia is going to go 172-0 until they prove me different. But here, I'm going to really break this down. Here's what I'm thinking.
Okay, Joe, let's hear it.
I'm sorry, I can't give us a win against Penn State, and here's why. Drew Eller's back. They didn't lose a lot off of last year's team. They did lose some, but man, they got some talent replacing those players.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You ready for my question?
Yeah.
Did they get a new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator?
They did get a new offensive coordinator, and you know who it was, don't you? The guy from Kansas. The guy from Kansas that took it to West Virginia. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a very good offensive coordinator, and he's going to air that ball out. He's got the quarterback and receivers to do it with. And where's our weakness? We don't know. We don't know yet, but we know where our weakness was last couple of years, and that was defensive back, right? Mm-hmm. Now, how's our corners going to cover them receivers? That's yet to be seen because we've got we got some good players coming out of the transfer portal, right? We got some players from Northwestern, Minnesota. We got some good Power 5 defensive backs and corners coming in, but are they going to be able to cover those Penn State receivers? That's yet to be seen. I'm sorry, I had to give us a loss against Penn State. The line on the game is, I think, 10.5. I wouldn't take that. I would bet West Virginia because I don't think that Penn State will beat West Virginia by 10.5 in Morgantown. But I do think Penn State's going to win the game probably by 6 points, 7 points, or somewhere around there.
Joey, I asked you a question. West Virginia loses by a field goal. Is that a good optic for the Mountaineers and the Big 12?
I think so. I really do.
Or is that just we really just, wishing in one hand, shitting in the other at that point?
Well, I think it'll be dependent on Penn State, right? And the Big 10. Can they beat Ohio State or Michigan?
Well,
Can
no.
they beat one or both of those teams? So, because if they can, and they get to play in the Big 10 championship game, and West Virginia went toe-to-toe with them, and they only won by 3, Yes, I think it's a great sign for West Virginia in the Big 12.
I agree, Joey. That's yeah.
So, all right, then Albany. Albany's a win, easy. At Pittsburgh for the backyard brawl. Pittsburgh's got a lot of returning production. They picked up some good transfers, but they have nothing compared to West Virginia. I've got to give West Virginia a win there. Kansas. Kansas is a home game. 2 years ago, they came in here and beat us and shocked the world and shocked the nation and shocked the shit out of me when they beat us, right? That was the turning over of Kansas. That was Lance Leipold coming into Morgantown and saying, hey, I'm going to lay down a statement right here. We're going to beat the Mountaineers, and we're going to show everybody we're here to compete in Big 12. And he's been doing it since. So this is payback. Kansas might want to stay out in Kansas and not even come to Morgantown for that. But I have a feeling West Virginia's going to blow them away. I'm sorry, I do. Then Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State. Wow, what a tough game! What a tough venue! What a tough place to play. Yeah, I that game right now is a toss up to me. I'm gonna have to take that one. I'm gonna have to take that one closer to the actual start of the season. And the reason why you don't know who's going to get hurt. Ollie Gordon, if Ollie Gordon gets hurt, and heaven forbid he does, I don't want him to. But if Ollie Gordon was to get hurt, Oklahoma State could struggle, and I could see West Virginia taking it to Oklahoma State. All right, then October 12th is Iowa State. We do get Iowa State at home, so I think that's a win. We get Kansas State at home. I think that's a win. Because Kansas State has trouble in Morgantown. All right,
Yeah.
you know they've come in highly rated before and highly ranked, and walked away losing. So at Arizona, I think it's going to be a good tough game. But I think Arizona has got a lot has lost some production. Now they do have one of the best quarterbacks, without a doubt,
And a good coach.
one of the best quarterbacks in the nation.
Yeah, they have a good new coach. Yeah.
Yeah, and a good new coach. But I think that new coach is going to have his hands full year one because he's trying to get his system in place. He's trying to get his culture in place. And I think it hurts Arizona. I'm not saying they're going to be a dumpster fire, but I think they're going to lose some games. And I think West Virginia is going to be too good for Arizona this year. I'm going to get West Virginia a win there. At Cincinnati, I'm going to get West Virginia a win there. Why not? We're like 20-3 against West Virginia or against Cincinnati all time. So yeah, I'm going to give it to West Virginia. Baylor's a dumpster fire. I think Deborah Randa's going to be fired probably after week 4 of this season. I really do. He's just not cutting the mustard there.
Kids are thinking about transferring in November 16th. They're thinking about where they want to go.
Yeah. I've got to give us a win, especially in Morgantown. Then UCF coming to Morgantown. Look, we drug UCF up and down the field last year, and that was at UCF. And everybody said, "Well, now this is the game that's going to give West Virginia a hard time. They're going to go down there and lose." We kicked their ass. Now they turned around and kicked Oklahoma State's ass, and I don't know how, but yeah, I have to give the win to West Virginia. It's in Morgantown. UCF is going to be really shocked. They're going to have a culture shock when they go into Morgantown and not play. And the final game, Texas Tech. Look, Neil Brown struggles against Texas Tech. We all know this. He absolutely struggles against Texas Tech. It doesn't matter if they're good, bad, indifferent, or ugly. He struggles, and we're going to Texas Tech. You know, that's going to be another one of them games. Got to be closer to the season before I can predict it. But right now, I would have to say it's going to be a loss at Iowa State. And I would also have to say it's going to be a loss at Oklahoma State. And then I think we lose to Penn State. So right now, I would have us going 9-3, then winning the bowl game and winning 10-3 for the season. But right now, I have us 9-3.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong. I hope we go 11-1. I hope we go 12-0. But right now, I just have to say 9-3. All right, this thing is finished up again.
It's going to have to go back because the Magic 8 Ball, I'm going to rehash for Tim Green. Magic 8 Ball picked us to beat, the Mountaineers to beat Penn State. Okay? They're going to lose to Kansas. Magic 8 Ball said so. And Magic 8 Ball said the Mountaineers are going to lose in the desert. So that is according to our Magic 8 Ball.
And we've had trouble with AI because it don't want to seem to predict the games. It just wants to tell us who the schedule is. And so I have asked it a different way now to please predict these games. All right, so let's give this AI another try. and see if it does it. Here we go.
The West Virginia Mountaineers, a team with grit, a team with heart. This year they have a schedule that could lead them to the promised land and undefeated season. Can they do it? We'll break it down game by game, see if this team has the goods. First up, non-conference games. Penn State Nittany Lions, always a tough out. Then the backyard brawl. Pitt Panthers, a rivalry for the ages. A trip to Texas to face the Red Raiders. Texas Tech can sling the ball. These games will test the Mountaineers. They will show us what they're made of. Penn State, a team with tradition, a team with size. The Mountaineers need to be ready. They need to be physical. This game is in Morgantown. The crowd will be electric. The Mountaineers need to control the line of scrimmage. They need to run the ball effectively. They need to stop the run. Penn State wants to pound the rock. The Mountaineers need to meet the challenge head on. On offense, the Mountaineers need to be creative. They need to use their speed. They need to find ways to get the ball to their playmakers in space. Penn State has a strong defense. The Mountaineers need to find their weaknesses. This is a statement game. A win here sets the tone. It shows the nation that the Mountaineers are for real. This is a game that could define the season. The backyard brawl, a rivalry born in 1895, a game that means everything. The Panthers, they want revenge. They reclaim.
All right, so I give up. It's just absolutely not going to predict it. I just don't know why. It's we've not had any trouble with AI predicting these games, right? With anybody, but it just will not give us prediction for West Virginia. So what we'll do, we'll just figure out, because it's we do know that all the teams we've done so far, the teams that we're playing West Virginia, AI has us beating them, right? So we're just going to have to go by that and say, okay, right now, the teams that we're going to play first part of the season, AI's got us beating them, with the exception of Penn State. We haven't got a prediction on Penn State or Pitt from it at all. I will work on that and see if I can get it to give us the prediction for Penn State and Pitt, and play that for us next week or something if I can. I really want it to give us prediction for the whole schedule. So I'm going to work on it again after this show and see if I can get it to give us prediction. I want to be fair with it. I don't want to influence it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, I mean, I could easily say, give us a score prediction and, give us a good season, or, I could do all that and tell it what the score is even. I don't want to do that. I want AI to do it itself. And it's done it itself so far on every team but West Virginia. So that's kind of funny.
Here's the key, guys. This is why we do it on the fly, because we want to have a natural reaction. Okay. We want to be like, oh, that sucks, or oh, that's awesome, and actually like see us get excited just as you would listening or watch it. So that's why we do this. So it's not, that's why the Magic 8 Ball, we have to click it a few times, because it says, cloudy, ask again, or whatever the reply is. So, the Arizona game, it made us ask 3 times before it said, no, West Virginia's going to lose. So, we don't know. Neither does the Magic 8 Ball, but, that's why they play.
Steve's calling me out. He says, definitely not blowing out. Kansas might win, but not by a blowout. Okay. Here's what I mean by a blowout. I don't mean like it's going to be 42-0, something like that. I don't mean that kind of blowout. I mean that I think our defense is going to stand strong. I think it's going to be a rough, tough game. I think Kansas is going to be, they're going to have to pay for a couple of years ago coming into Morgantown and West Virginia being the first team that they beaten in a Power 5 level in years, right? And they come into Morgantown and did that 2 years ago. There's a price you pay for that. And I guarantee you that game circled, and everybody on that team knows that they came into Morgantown and beat us 2 years ago, and that they embarrassed West Virginia by doing that, because, like I say, it was the first time they had beaten anybody in a very, very, very long time. So I have a feeling that West Virginia is going to be ready to play just like they were last year when they put 14 up on the board everywhere, when they were picked 14th, and we went 9-3 and finished 4th in the conference. Yeah, I have a feeling that Neil Brown's going to have up there on the board. Kansas is coming to Morgantown again, and they kicked our ass last time. So I have a feeling that it's going to be. I just have a feeling that the final score is going to be West Virginia winning by 10 to 12 points. I don't mean blow out like 42-0. But you know what? When you're beating Kansas, because Kansas is going to be a really good team, guys, and they've got a good quarterback coming back. They've got a good team coming back. You can beat them by 10 points by 2 scores. Yeah, that's a pretty good job. That's what I mean by that. So you agree with me in any way they're saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. The Kansas game is going to be definitely. I mean, we're going to have like a compass check and know what's going to happen with the season. That first game against Penn State.
I just
But
have a feeling that
it could also be a false reading. You know, you come out, lights out, you win, and then you're emotional. You either play like crap against Pitt or you play okay against Pitt, another emotional game, rivalry, and then you just have a letdown against Kansas because, guys, Kansas is still Kansas. I mean, they've only been good for like 2 or 3 years. Okay, they've been the homecoming game for Nebraska for years, and then the homecoming game for Texas. Or guys, it's just the way of the world, you know. And people have a short memory, but you know we do remember the losers for a long period of time. Rutgers was always that team. Rutgers in the Big East is what Kansas was in the in the old conference, but Kansas is now.
And I can remember the Rutgers team.
But guys, all those other shows, I sing Kansas' praises. I'm a huge Lance Leipold fan. I think they're fantastic, doing a fantastic job. But I'm just saying, if you go and look back at their history, they turned the corner against West Virginia, and then it's been a nice uphill climb since then. And they're looking at the top, looking down. But you know, it doesn't take long to go from the top to the bottom. You ask a lot of these programs out there that are on the downslide. I think Alabama's on the downslide. I think they're not going to be nearly as good as what they've been in the past. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So I wanna just ask: does anybody remember Rutgers back in 2000? Let me think when year that was.
Giano?
2001. I think it was 2001. West Virginia did not have a good year. Did not have a good team that year. Rutgers was having a phenomenal year. I think Rutgers was like 6-0, maybe 6-1.
Yeah, I remember
coming
that.
into Morgantown. West Virginia was like 3-4. You know, they were just not a good team. And we beat that team, and everybody said we wasn't going to beat them. And I was saying then, I think we'll beat them pretty bad. I think we'll blow them out. Just like I'm saying with Kansas right now. Final score of that game was West Virginia 80, Rutgers 7. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Ray Rice there in 2001?
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to see the year.
But I think it was 2001 that we beat them 80-7.
I'm looking right now. The best year under Shiano, back, I think we're talking from like 2001 until 2011, he was there. I'm looking, guys. Bear with me. In 2006, they had 11 wins.
Who?
2001, they had 2 wins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I was thinking they had a good game that year. And West Virginia was bad too. West Virginia only won like 2 or 3 games that year too.
2007 and 8 and 9, they had 8 and 9 wins.
Yeah.
And then 2011 and 2012, they had 9 wins.
Rutgers did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what did West Virginia go in 2001? They didn't win a lot. Hey, Gutter. How you doing, honey? Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate it. She come in and give us a thumbs up.
I don't know 2001 the Mountaineers, but I think they were. I think they went to a bowl game. I think they had 7-4 maybe.
I'm gonna have to look it up. All right.
It's going by memory. They played
2001 West Virginia versus Rutgers. Let's see. Okay, 2001 West Virginia versus Rutgers. West Virginia won 80-7, just like I thought. Right. West Virginia was 3-5 that year. West Virginia was 3-5. Then in the conference. And 1-3 out of conference. So they were 4-8. Right? So yeah, that's pretty bad. Did you go away there? Oh, there you are.
I think I have a free froze for a minute.
Oh, okay. Timothy's telling me Ray Rice was 2007. See, when you get back that far, man, my brain, my long-term memory has to kick in, and it don't work too well. So yeah, Ray Rice, 2007. That does sound about right. Actually, I didn't think he was that late though. I was thinking he was earlier than that, but Timothy's probably right. He probably looked it up. Or
Yeah,
knows.
Tim. That was the first probably 20 minutes of the show would be the 8 ball, and it was fire.
That 8 ball Timothy, man, that thing picks good. It really does. It's like
It's creepy.
it's scary. It's scary, because it's not one time picked a team that we knew couldn't beat the team they were playing. It's not one time picked that team. Like Albany beating West Virginia. It didn't do.
Yeah. If Steve, Tim, John, Kelly, anybody have a question for the Magic 8 ball, I'll ask it one question before we get done for the night.
Yeah. Ask it if Ray Rice was any good. We know that. So I'm working on, while we're doing this, I'm still working on this AI over here on the side, but it's not doing anything. It's just giving me a hard time, guys. AI does not want to predict for West Virginia University, and it's probably because it knows how good the Big 12 is this year, top to bottom. Well, at least the first 7 or 8 teams, right? And there's so much parity in this league.
Yeah.
You look at the roster between Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Iowa State, West Virginia, Arizona, Utah. You look at those rosters, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, these are going to be some good games. These teams are returning anywhere from 75 to 95% of their roster from last year. And these teams all had good years last year. So
I have a question for the Magic 8 ball. Will Penn State play in the Big Ten championship game? Magic 8 ball. Will PSU be able to play in the Big Ten championship game? See, it doesn't even know.
that's easy.
Try again.
Figure out Ohio State. It's looking at Ohio State's schedule right now. Give them a minute.
Yeah, we'll give it. So it said reply hazy. Ask again. So sources say no. So the Penn State will not play in the Big Ten championship game.
Ask it if West Virginia will play in the Big 12 championship game.
Okay. Magic 8 ball. Will the Mountaineers? You picked them to go 10-2. Will they play for a championship in the Big 12?
Very doubtful. Okay.
So with those 2 losses, they don't make it in.
Yeah. So that would be that'd be unfortunate, but that's just how the Big 12 is this year. There's so many good teams. And it's going to come down to, can West Virginia beat Oklahoma State, and then Oklahoma State turn around and beat Arizona, and then Arizona maybe turn around and beat West Virginia. I mean, I could just see all that happening.
How about this? Well, I'm going to ask if Oklahoma State will play for the big.
Okay.
Magic 8 ball. Will Oklahoma State play for the Big 12 championship this year?
Well, it went blank. It had something, then went blank.
That was strange. Once again, will Oklahoma State play for the Big 12 championship?
Like it changed its mind last second.
It is certain. So Oklahoma State's going to play for the championship.
Who are they going to play? Let's see if it's Utah. Let's find out if it's Utah.
Magic 8 ball. Will they play Utah? Will Oklahoma State play Utah in the Big 12 championship? I talk to it like I'm talking to a dog or a kid. Cannot predict now. So it doesn't know.
Doesn't know. So it's probably trying to figure out if it's going to be Utah or Kansas State, Kansas, West Virginia. There's so many people got UCF so high in this conference, and West Virginia below UCF, and I just can't see that. I know UCF has some great talent down there. I know they have a great coach, but here's the problem. I think people are underestimating West Virginia because of coaching. I think they think Neil Brown's not a good coach, and I'm telling you right now, he's a good coach, guys. Neil Brown's
they've been garbage for a couple years. They've had some shit seasons, and unfortunately, they still have the stank on them. Even though they were good last year, people still remember the stink. Okay.
So that I've always said, and
I'm going to ask it again. Magic 8 ball. Will Utah play in the Big 12 championship?
asking it again.
My last question for the night. Yes.
All right.
Oklahoma State, Utah. You heard it here.
Oh. Now, I want to say what I was going to say about Neil Brown. So I've said this before, but there's some people in here, maybe not been in here with us when I've said this, and I'm going to say it again. Neil Brown came to West Virginia in 2019, and in 2018, West Virginia had 7 players drafted to the NFL off that team.
Yeah.
7 NFL draft picks. Not to mention the ones that graduated. Dana Holgorsen had not been building the program. He had been using the transfer portal a lot like Dion is. He had been using the transfer portal. So all the players that we had on the team were just some transfers that they came in that didn't care about West Virginia. They didn't know they didn't understand the culture. Dana was terrible at with the culture at West Virginia University. So when Neil Brown came in 2019, depleted roster. Now he came from a group of 5 school in Troy. So he didn't know the recruits that West Virginia was recruiting because he couldn't recruit those players at Troy. He couldn't get them players at Troy. So he had to learn the West Virginia circle, that remember the Don Neyland 300-mile circle, right? He had to learn that. And then he had to learn how to recruit Florida and get some of them big players out of there, and how to recruit Pennsylvania up north in Pennsylvania and get some M players out of there. So he had to learn all this. So he was learning in 2019. So he was ready to go in 2020. What happened in 2020? Anybody remember 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of shit show, wasn't it? So he couldn't go visit these recruits that he had been talking to on the phone. They had never met him. He had never met them. And he had to go.
Joey, you have to remember what Eugene said 4 months ago when we had him on the show after the bowl game. Dana had poisoned the well. A lot of these recruiting hotbed schools basically were not like it went barren. Like they could not go to those wells anymore because he had I don't know how else to say it. He basically, shit where he was eating, and
he tried to do not to the extent that Dion did it, but he did try to do the Dion thing, right? He felt like he could get better players out of the transfer portal than he could recruit to Morgantown because he was just stupid like that. So that's what he tried to do. Well, then in 2018, when all these players graduated and even the players that had been there for 4 years, they all graduate and go elsewhere or NFL or whatever. 2019 was left empty. I mean, nothing. Neil Brown had absolutely nothing. Then in 2020, we get the pandemic. He can't visit the recruits. He can't go to their houses. He can't meet them. He can't tell them about what he wants to do and the great things he's got in store for West Virginia. All that's out the window. So we had a crappy recruiting class. So in 2021, we didn't have anybody again, right? We just didn't have anybody. So we had a bad season. But he spent that year recruiting really good. 2022 was a little bit better season, remember? We started picking it up. 2022, 2023, 9-4. Now we're getting the team together, right? Now we're returning 91% of that production for 2024. We're ready to go. I've really got a lot of faith in Neil Brown, guys. Tell you right now, this team's going to win 10, 11 games. I know they got a really tough schedule, and I think that's what's going to hold them up. And that's why I said they might could win 9, but just win 9 because of that schedule. It's a brutal schedule, but at the same time, I'll take an 8-win season. Wouldn't you? I would take an 8-4 regular season right now.
You beat Penn State and Pitt. I don't care if you lose 5 games.
Yeah, you beat Pitt. I don't care. I don't care if you lose Penn State. You beat Pitt. I'll be happy. I want to beat Penn State too, but boy, I just don't want to lose Pitt. You beat Pitt, I'm happy. Now, but I think we've got the team to beat Penn State this year. At least keep the game very competitive, make them work for their win. And I think that the Big 12 and all the people out there in the media that are putting us down and talking about how we're going to finish 8th or 9th in this conference and we're just not going to be very good and, all that stuff. And they're putting UCF ahead of us. Hell, I seen one day they had Cincinnati ahead of us. That's how dumb that one was. But everybody said UCF's going to be better than West Virginia and BYU's going to be better than West Virginia. Look, come on. They're just not. And West Virginia's going to be a lot better than people think. So that's why I've got faith in Neil Brown. I know what he went through. You guys know what he went through. You're all Mountaineers fans. Most of you are. You know what he's gone through.
Hey, there were
And
times I had a shovel and I was getting ready to throw a load of coal on the fire, because I wasn't buying it there was 2 weeks after that Houston game. That's when I had my pitchfork. I was so disgruntled, and guys, I know in the comments you were probably the same way, and if you were, give us a thumbs up, because after that Houston game, that was just a mismanagement of the game. I mean, that's bottom line. But he rallied the troops, and they came back and they won a few tough games. So give him credit there. But Joey, boy, this has been a freaking fast hour and 14 minutes, buddy.
oh wow, I didn't even realize that. It is 8:07, isn't it? 8:08. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Well, so I hope everybody had a good time. Story AI couldn't predict West Virginia scores. I will work on that, and hopefully next week we can get it to give us a prediction of scores for West Virginia real quick. But we will be back next Monday night for another AI versus 8 Ball. But also, here's some good news for you Mountaineer fans. Wednesday night on Frank Fear's show, the Mountaineer Locker Room Then and Now, Voice of the Mountaineers, Tony Creedy will be on there. All right. And that's only your first surprise, because there's even a better surprise the following week too. So, and I'm not going to spoil that. I'm going to let Frank break that news to you, that what's going on there. So watch Frank's show Wednesday night, because you're not going to miss that. Tony Creed's going to be on there, and then I'm sure Frank's going to tell you who he's going to get the following week. And I think everybody's going to be excited about this guy coming in. So, and if you haven't caught my interview with Neil Brown, be sure to catch that right here. And I asked Neil Brown that very question. My very first question to him was, is you coming in after Dana Holgerston and having a depleted roster, and then the pandemic hits and everything? Is that what held the program up? So, be sure and watch that and stuff. Well, and Thursday night we'll be back for the Big 12 show, Big 12 Fan Zone, because we don't want to sit and act like we know what we're talking about in everything with the Big 12. So it's just a Fan Zone show where we can come in and be a couple of fans and talk Big 12 football. Friday night, Shane, tell them about your show on Friday night.
So Friday night we had a lot of fun, just shooting the bull, and you guys, it's just, grab a beer, kick back. If you don't drink, get your milk, whatever. Put the kids to bed early, and we're just going to talk about Mountaineer football. We're going to talk a little bit about maybe about 5 minutes of basketball, and we're going to talk about some. I didn't get to it last week, but I'm going to try to talk about some the changes in tailgating over the years, like how it's kind of like it's done a full circle, and now it's you literally can buy a tailgate through the Mountaineer ticket office. They set it up, they clean it up, and that's that. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they put a keg in the back of a pickup truck, and that's how it was done. But, tune in. We're going to have a fun show. Last week we talked a little bit about, on the Big 12 show, I used Pitt and Penn State as the stepbrothers and talked about what rivalries were there. And we had Clint Foster. And, it's just always a good time. You never know what's going to happen. And I guarantee you that we'll talk about shenanigans too.
So John's reminding us, thank you, John. Up next is the Voice of College Football's Trojan Conquest live at 10 p.m. That's on the USC channel. Listen, USC channel, that's one of the better channels. Tim Prangley over there has the best show. If you have not watched Tim Prangley on the USC show, I don't care if you're a USC fan or not, you got to watch this show. It's really good. And John Dianimo does a great job on the Michigan channel. He's got a great show called what's it called? John, type that in. I can't remember what it's called. What is that called? But anyway, it's a great show. John Dianimo does that show for the Michigan channel. Does a fantastic job. Be sure and check that out. Sub up the Michigan channel, sub up the USC channel. In fact, sub up every channel within the network of the Voice of College Football, because everyone does a fantastic job. You know, only clowns on this whole network is me and Shane, right?
Right.
We're the
That's-
only clowns on the whole network. Everybody else is professionals and know what the hell they're doing.
And there's the only thing keeping us from not getting the makeup is Spirit Halloween doesn't open for like 2 more months, and then we'll be set.
Yeah. All right, guys. We do appreciate everybody coming in. Everyone, please make sure you hit that thumbs up, that like button, turn that bell notification on, and subscribe to this channel so that you can always know whenever we go live and everything else. Everyone, have a great night, and let's play you something for an outro here. Here we go.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.